Welcome back to BrothaChats with your host, Brother G, and we have another special guest today. Who do we have?
Yeah, what's up, guys? It's me, Lxnked. I'm glad to be here today.
Well, that's good to hear, man. We all want you here. I want you here. You are excited to be here. You told me earlier that you're a little nervous. Hey, it's okay. Yeah, I mean,
Um,
like, you are a businessman on Recroom. In real life, I'm probably you probably are. So you gave me a list of items to go through to like talk about different segments and everything like that. So without further ado, let's get right into the meat and potatoes. Yeah, I mean, so
all
you
right,
ready?
bet.
All right,
Yeah, I'm ready when you are.
okay. So your name is Lynx, right? Lynx.
Yes, sir. Bro, come on, bro. What's wrong? I'm just trying to be respectful out here.
No, no, no. You just said it
No, my
so.
bad. I'm sorry for being boring, bro.
Okay, no, no, no. It's good. It's good. Like you just said it so. I would not. Okay, all right, all right. So I mean, so you make movies, obviously. You have the clapper emoji next to your name. I can see that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I used to have that, but then everybody started using it, so I just had to change mine. You know.
All right.
So you worked. So hold on. Hey, Serenity, step back a little bit. So like, or just mute yourself. All right. Well, I gotta edit that shit out. Okay. All right. Um. Okay. So we're talking about movies and shit. Okay. All right, editing man, edit this shit out, which is me. All right. So, all right, back where we were. So you work on movies. You work for
Mhm.
many companies. I assume. I mean, I assume. Is that right?
Yeah. I work for Recreals, Universal Inc., and I'm trying to get into Baghead. Oh,
Well,
it's going well. Homer just forgets, so he has
yeah,
a lot on his plate.
yeah.
So
I mean, yeah, it's
it's just
Homer.
patience.
Yeah, Homer's a busy man right now, especially with this new Halloween movie that's coming out soon. Like I think next
Yeah,
year
I
or a couple
actually just
months.
got out of auditions for that. I like did that, and then as soon as you invited me,
I was gonna join, but then I remember that apparently I'm already assigned in the movie. I forgot I was, so I don't know. So like, I mean, so how was auditions like? Like go through that process.
so like for his auditions, he just like pulled up a list of the characters and was like, "All right, is there anybody that wants to go for this character?" And then he would audition for that character, and then he would pick who was best fit for it, and then he'd be like, "All right, is there anybody that wants to go for this character?" And then so on, so on. So it's just like he's finding those like who are good for the role, like in like a list type of system.
So like so apparently so I'm assuming that he's gonna be using that same system for the rest of the movies from now on.
Yeah,
I mean like he started using. I mean him and Prince started using that for the Alien Nest movies. So
yeah. I'm pretty sure like most of your directors in Universal like thing. I'm pretty sure I've seen Mexican use it. Um, I think Deer might use it.
mm, well
I might start using it because
yeah
it seems more productive than just like
yeah
first come first serve.
yeah. I remember. I mean from now on I will be start using that method because I mean I think they use that in real life as well. So so I mean that method is it's a lot more efficient. I mean it takes a lot longer, but it's a lot more efficient and you can really nitty gritty and chop down the loose ends and really get the strongest people
Mm-hmm.
for your movie or film. I mean or TV show. I
Yeah,
mean
yeah, yeah.
it's a lot better than the ones that we had months ago where we
Right,
just
right, right.
just like invite everybody to a big class technically and then it's
Mm-hmm.
so chaotic. But what this is, but for this one, it's just like a big classroom, organized. It's really, I mean, technically,
Mm-hmm.
it's all freestyle, really. But at the end of the day,
Yeah,
it's a lot more efficient. So I approve of it. We all should approve of it. So
yeah.
we're good on that part. Speaking of movies, once again, you make movies, right?
Yeah, I actually just pushed out a short film a few weeks ago for the short film contest. Um, called The Darkest Deal. Sporty was our main role with Homer as the main antagonist. Stellar. I mean, they performed so well. It was. I mean, I gave them a script same day. We ran it. I could not have asked for a better crew for that.
Mm. Well, hopefully y'all win, obviously. So, I mean,
I
so
do. My bad,
go
you
ahead.
go.
No, no, go ahead, go ahead.
Alright, I do plan on having the darkest deal after this whole movie contest, depending on how it goes. I'm gonna have it pushed out as like an actual full movie.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that'll be after I finish with Good Boys, which I'm having auditions for right now. Actually,
Good boys on Recroom.
yeah, I'm not gonna have it like on a like rec room. Like I'm not gonna have it as like an event. It's just gonna go
Mm-hmm.
straight to my YouTube
Well,
because
I mean,
I like to maintain my account. You feel me?
Do you know what's on Rec? I'm on Good Boys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm familiar with the movie. I've seen the movie, and most of the people that are auditioning have seen the movie. Like they know what's being played, and if I have to cut some parts out, I'm gonna just cut some parts out. Um,
Yeah, you got to for Recroom's sake. Hey,
yeah,
damn.
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
It's gonna be fine. I'm confident that it's gonna go well. It's like I'm not gonna be like so like one by one on the movie because there, like you said, there are some like insane things regarding. But I mean, that's just like how movies like that are. Um, I think I'm gonna be able to get away with cutting out parts that aren't really like um what is it crucial. Like there's like certain scenes like the party scene,
Mm-hmm.
the drone scene that I'm gonna have to keep in. The playground scene where they're getting chased by the two girls. That's just gonna have to stay in. But then all of the other things I can work around. If it cuts it down to like less than an hour, I'm fine with that. As long as I like, because I'm already like set. I'm not gonna put this on a Recroom event because there's like pretty insane
Yeah,
language for it.
yeah.
While
I
most of
mean,
these movies aren't
especially,
like terrible.
especially like with the new map rules and everything like that. So that's a
Yeah.
lot smarter. Yeah. I mean, if you are able to cut it down to a PG-13 level movie, if Deadpool can do it, you can do it as well. So it shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm confident that it's gonna work well. I just gotta make sure that I'm picking people that are fit for the role, but they're also like at a mature level about it. Like I can't have them like he and ha ha and like every little
yeah.
thing. Like that's for the audience. That's not for the cast. The cast needs to like take it serious. Like if
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting there and I tell somebody their line and the entire cast is laughing at it for like 20 minutes straight, I'm sitting there trying to get a shot and I can't do it because they're laughing at it. You're just not gonna get anything done. Um, so you kind of just have to wait, and that takes away crucial time from making the movie.
Yeah, yeah, I understand that because I remember last time when I tried to have like classes and everything like that. It's all like little toddlers in the background, man. So
Right.
it's all out of line and everything. So I understand that,
Yeah.
and I trust your judgment and I trust your leadership to really hone in the director skill to really guide and direct the actors themselves, not just the movie, but the actors. So I believe in you. We all believe in you. And Good Voice is coming to Rec Room, guys. So stay tuned for that. Hey, yeah, I mean, so you also so all right, going back to the darkest deal. So explain what the darkest deal really is in like a summarized form that that you
All right.
implemented in Rec Room.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the Darkest Deal is actually based off of the Halloween Horror Nights haunted house from last year, which is the Darkest Deal, which is based off of the urban legend of Robert Johnson. If y'all don't know what that's about, basically, really good blues musician, but there's a myth going around that he like sold his soul for like to get good at music, and then one day he just disappeared off the face of the earth, and nobody knew what happened. So the main character of the story is Pine Straw Spruce. He take is a like at a concert that goes poorly, and then after he leaves the stage, goes outside, meets this like entity called the Collector, and he's like, "Hey, meet me at the crossroads, and we can talk a deal." And at first he's hesitant, but then he decides to do it, and they make a deal that if Pine Straw Spruce gets musical glory from this guy, the guy gets his soul. So they accept the offer, and during a performance, the collector just stands up and he's like, "All right, that's it. Your contract is fulfilled." Pan Shaw's like, "No, that's like way too soon," and then he just takes him, and then that's basically the entire story of it.
Mm. I mean, I remember hearing that something like that on Jumpers Jump, so I'm kind of familiar with that story, and that really kickstarted the urban legend of selling your soul, right? And like choosing.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, if you guys don't know about that story, just look it up for more information. But watch the short film to really understand a visual representation of the movie. So I will link down that short film down description down below, so everybody here can go check it out, including me again. So it's pretty good. I liked it. It's nice, short, and simple. So
Yeah, I really appreciate it. We put a lot of hard work in this movie, and we did it in a day and a half, which was really, really like I'm proud about. Um, you know, there's other movies out there or short films that like they put a lot of work into, and it looks good. There's others that aren't as well put together. So I think we have a shot, but I'm not expecting for us to get hit number one. Like I hope that we're like top 10.
I
But
will. Yeah. Go ahead.
it's not up to me. Like if it was up to me, if it was up to like Universal Inc., it's up to these like higher ups in the rec room that like know what they want to see. Like they know what they're looking for. Like people that have made videos like on the Rec Room official channel, like they know what they want to see. So it's up to them. They're looking for your more like good looking videos. They're not looking for the poorly put together videos and like CapCut.
Yeah. Well, you also had another movie that let me find it, that you sent me, the Outsiders.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I mean, like, I think I seen the Outsiders in middle school. So like, isn't the Outsiders about a group of like bad boys like trying to do right or
Yeah.
something, right? Or
Yeah, so it's basically like a clash between these two social classes. Like one of your like your poor like rough house kids and your others are like your rich like classier kids.
yeah,
And they just like these groups hate each other. They're like separated and like one of the like social kids gets killed and the two main characters have to like run away and then like survive while like a fire at the place they were staying at happens.
I remember that.
And yeah. So and then it ends with a big fight, and then it's not a very happy ending in my opinion. I mean, you lose two of your main characters. um so it's a sad movie, and I really wanted it to work, and I had the cast for it. The problem was set building. I didn't think it was a hard set. I didn't have the right people for it. The first person to message me, and I'm not gonna bring out names, but um she messages me and she's like, "Hey, I'm interested." I'm like, "Okay." And then multiple people start messaging me. I guess like because I posted out about it in Recroom. I was like, "Hey, I need builders for this."
Hmm.
So I get like a few people. I'm like, "All right, so here's what I want. I'm still gonna look for more people to make this an easy project, but you need to pull your own weight." And everybody's like, "Okay, sounds good. All right." And the same girl from before is the only one like active, but like not building yet because we haven't reached that part yet. And everybody else just kind of goes ghost. I'm like, okay. So I get this one girl who I will use their name because they were the one that did right. Homer actually met me with Kia,
Yes, man.
and
Yes,
I was
sir.
like, oh, bet. And then Kia showed me some of her
Yeah.
work, and I was like, I don't want to pressure you, but if you could work on the Outsiders, because I know you work with a lot of projects. She was like instantly like, yeah, of course. Don't even worry about it. And she started building, and I was like really happy with it. But I noticed production was slow, not because she had multiple movies to work on, but because the other girl wasn't doing anything. And me and Kia who I deemed headset builder at this time, confronted her about it, and she was like, I have, things to work on. And we were like, what things to work on? Because we were looking at the chats, and she was signing up for movies that she didn't even end up auditioning for. She was arguing with like former moderators of servers, like for Rec Reels, Universal Inc., all that. She was just too busy doing all of that and blaming it on like family stuff when it wasn't even family stuff in the first place. So I was just like, all right, that's it. You're done. So then we pick up somebody else who was in like a tough spot. Like they were like traveling everywhere. They had no time either. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna just place this on hold. And then Kia like had so much stuff on her. I was just like, I can't. There's just no point for us doing this right now. So I just cut the idea completely. And I want to bring it back, but I don't know if I'm gonna like how I'm gonna go for set building. I'm trying to learn like how to do structure. I'm trying to learn how to build so I can work on it. But I mean, there's just people that like are good at like building, and then there's also people that claim to be good at building and they don't do anything. And that I learned that the hard way. So, I really wanted that movie to work out, and I feel like if I could have pushed that out before the upcoming Oscars, it would have won something. So I am disappointed, but it will like come out like within the next year or two. I'm very confident.
I am as well. I mean, you also got, well, actually, yeah. I mean, yeah, next year because we have a plethora of movies that are set to come out this year as well. So, I mean, start filming this year, but really coming out next year. So, we are really confident in the Outsiders inside of Rec Room with Lxnked. So, can't wait to see that. I still gotta finish watching Outsiders because I haven't watched that since middle school. I've only watched a couple of bit of it because the class movie time got cut short, so I gotta finish that.
Yeah.
Outsiders, man. So we talked about Good Boys, The Darkest Deal short film. Now let's get really into the nitty gritty of being head staff of Rec Reels.
Alrighty. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, I want to work on these two films, Good Boys, and then the longer version of The Darkest Deal. And then when I'm done with that, I'm stepping down as head staff of Rec Reels. It's just too much to manage. It's like what I was left with by a former head staff was not good. I was left with like people like didn't even want to talk in that server because the former head staff at the time was just not a good person to run a server. He was a good person, but he had like severe power trips, and he just didn't know what he was doing. So I remember the day he got like fired and kicked from the server, I woke up about like 12, and this was back in like June, July maybe, and they were like, Deer was like, hey, do you want to be head staff at Rec Reels? I was like, I mean, sure, I guess. And keep in mind, the former head staff, he was like already surrounded by a bunch of controversy. Like they were trying to get him kicked out like way before this even happened. I wasn't on good terms with him for like the first bit of my time in the server, but I eventually like we grew on each other. Like we became like decent friends, and then we'd have like ups and downs. But like I enjoyed him as a friend, like but not as like an authority figure of the movie making industry. You feel me? And like when I found out that he wanted me as head staff, I was like, okay, cool. So I started to like try to promote activity while he was too busy promoting games during his time that weren't even like affiliated with Rec Reels, that weren't, like just for his own gain. Excuse me. Then after promoting activity, people were getting mad at me. I was like getting burned at the stake for it. And I was like, oh, okay. So like, what do you want me to do? And then people started pushing out like these really, really like terrible suggestions that wouldn't work for this type of server. So I just said, I mean, I don't know if that's a good idea. And then this person who ran a certain league came in, put in their like sense, which wouldn't work because it's a movie server. It's a movie making server. It's a community server. It's not a league server. I didn't say that, but I was like, I don't know. And then they were like, well, considering the way that you treat your members, which I didn't treat them in any sort of way, that would have been like my other mods. We don't want to be partnered with you. I wasn't looking for partnerships at that time. I was looking to like rebuild the server because that was my job. I was left with not a good server. So me and Nia, while Nia was working on like movies and getting stuff pushed out, I was working on trying to promote the server, trying to keep it out there. And then I promoted 2 of our staff members and said, if y'all want to look at applications for like your like builders, your building teachers, your filmers, your actors, you look at that. I'm gonna do this. And although I just got like really burnt out, so I just because I was taking more time for that than movies, so I wasn't really a useful figure. So I was like, this is too much. I'm gonna step down and pursue movie making. And it sucks. I don't know who's gonna be next head staff after me. If I had to pick one person, but I'm still not even confident, it would be Sunny because Sunny's like a little bit younger than me. For those of you who don't know, I'm 15. I think he's like 13, 14. I couldn't handle those responsibilities. At the time, I was 14 when I got promoted to head staff and when I stepped down. I don't know how he would handle it. So I'm kind of in this like, who do I make head staff when I leave? Do I make it Sunny? Do I make it Jocelyn? Like, what do I do? And then like people are leaving the staff, and I'm just sitting here in this like, what's next? Because if I step down, I'm still gonna be a member of the server. Like I think I'll like stay as like mod, but I'm not gonna be calling all of the shots that I was calling as head staff. Because I need to focus on making movies, pushing content out, rather than looking over the server and trying to like make changes and stuff and trying to keep the community intact.
Yeah, I understand that. So I mean, like we were talking about earlier about auditions, right? How about like you set them down and really discuss the inner workings of really like running the server or just running like the head of staff, right?
Yeah, so I was basically like, when the whole thing happened with the staff member, I went in, first thing I did was like I deleted all traces of him. Like I didn't want him to like be the figure that people would refer to. Started making changes. I started deleting all of the things he added. Like deleted things that like servers he created. So I tried to like rebuild that server, like literally. So I talked to Deer, I talked to Jocelyn, I talked to Sunny about it, and we were just talking about like what should be done. Like what do we do? And then I started pushing out ideas, and I guess because I was head staff, they were like, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. Which I don't know if they were like just saying that or if they meant that it was a good idea, because I would have been open to those suggestions if they were helpful suggestions. Like, because I feel like I said earlier, the thing people like when they give suggestions for servers, I don't think that most people actually know like the server. Like they don't know what type of server this is. Like this isn't a league server. This isn't like, this isn't like a role play server or something stupid like that. It's like a server where we're here to get our jobs done, and the job is to make movies.
Yes.
You feel me? Like, so when they give us suggestions that don't apply to like movies and movie making, it's just like, do you know what you're talking about? It's not fun. And head staff was really stressful, and I'm actually like kind of shifted over to like Universal Lxnked Baghead because Rec Reels, like people like weren't liking me as head staff for some reason, so I just decided to like spend time there and like focus on making movies rather than trying to develop a server, which isn't going well for me at all.
Well, can you like give us more detail about running a server, like in more detail? Like, I mean, past Rec Reels. So what are the fundamentals of, and like what are the positions that you really need to pay attention to of running a server alone, no matter if it's a movie server, league server, or just a Recroom business or any business with anything. So how would that work in your own words?
I mean, as a staff member, if you're running the server, one thing you got to make sure is that you stick to the rules. You're not a hypocrite. You don't try to like heavily enforce your power. I treat it as like I'm a member of the server just as anybody else. But if I see something going wrong, I can do something about it. But I have to make sure I'm not making the same like kind of moves that that person was making. Like if you make the rules, you got to stick by them. And if you struggle with that, then maybe you shouldn't make it as a rule. Like I've been in servers where like people are like, don't swear in here, but then all the moderators are just like swearing like there's no like tomorrow, like, which is just hypocritical. I mean, you got to make sure that like
Set an example for the whole server.
For like Red Grills.
What? No. I mean, no. What I asked you was just how to run a server or just run a business, quote unquote business, like just in general, not just rec reels, just anything.
Oh yeah. So like activity. I mean, that is the main thing in my opinion. If we're talking about like businesses and like rec reels and stuff like that, activity. I mean, it matters. If you're not active, you aren't a crucial member. Like you need to be active. Like when you're committing to like movies, when you're committing to like being a part of the film team where you're filming for people, when you're committing to being an editor, when you're committed to being a staff member, when you're committing to being like the owner or a co-owner or like moderator and stuff, you like need to like know what your job is and you need to commit to it. If you're acting for a movie, you need to be on by that time unless you have a good reason. Like if you just don't feel like it, why'd you even sign up for the first place? You need to like know what you're doing. You need to know obviously know your script. You need to, know what you're doing. And then like for film team, you need to be on by that time. You need to make sure you're listening to the director, like what shots you want, like camera, like positions, camera, like FOV. For moderators, you're maintaining the server. You need to enforce the rules and, be fair. And then the owner, like you're basically like that, like manager, you're giving those like commands to people. And then, yeah, I mean, like as like directors, you know what you want out of that movie. You need to make sure you're enforcing times. You need to like, what time we need to be on? And then you're going to throw out a time. And then if they can't agree with that, you need to work around it. It's a hard process, movie making, managing a server, all of that. It's hard, but it really pays off. You know what I mean? It's a whole lot, and it's hard to explain, especially through like my tongue. But it's very rewarding, is what I've seen off of like these films that have been pushed out by, like Rec Reels and Universal Inc. and other platforms. It's hectic. It's like when I went in, The Outsiders was going to be the first movie that I was directing. I knew what I wanted, but I was lenient. That's what I struggled with, was that I was lenient. And I wasn't enforcing. And then when I started enforcing, it was already too late. Nobody was like really believing. Nobody cared. They were like, you're not going to do anything. So then I was just like, okay, cool. I put it on hold. So you need to be an enforcer. Don't be too scared. Like, I was scared. I was scared that people weren't going to like me and that I wasn't going to I was going to make a movie that nobody liked. But at worst, I ended up not making a movie at all.
I mean, once you really get that director role, really understand the fundamentals of being a director and being in charge, like you said, and like enforce rules upon your movie alone. Don't follow anybody other rules and everything. Like follow yours and make sure that you put your foot down and really talk to each actor and really get their time scales and everything like that. All the cameramen, camerawomen, really set an example, especially for your first movie. Oh, it's up from there. So yeah.
Like I'm confident like for my future movies, and I'm not gonna let that go down how Outsiders did, because if I keep being lenient and I keep putting movies on hold, nobody's gonna trust me as a director. They're gonna be like, why sign up? You're just gonna put it on hold. That's not happening with Good Boys. That's not happening with the upcoming Darkest Deal. That's just not happening. I refuse to let that happen. If you are consistently not on for reasons that I don't think are good, you're gone. Like, I can't keep risking that. If I hire you as a set builder and you don't do any of the work, you're gone. I don't trust you enough. I don't need filmers. I can film for myself. I'm not going to act in this. I'm here to get the job done. That's what I've seen most directors do. They film for themselves. So like filming isn't like really as big as of a need now as it like was before I joined. And when I like was not a high up member. Um, you know, so it's just like mentality and it's commitment.
It really
And
is.
if you don't have any of that, then I don't want to be this kind of guy to say it, but then you don't really have a shot in the movie making industry.
Recroom or in real life, it doesn't matter where you are. You don't have a shot
Yeah.
because they're not really. It's one thing to really do it in real life, but it's another thing to do it inside the game. Because once you're doing it
Right.
on the game, it's a hobby, right? It's
Yeah.
not really. I mean, one day we might get paid doing this, right? Doing tokens
Yeah.
and cashing out. You know that will happen. But for
Mhm.
right now, this is a hobby, and people are here to really work on their passion and creativity that they really dream of and really just daydream about, you know. But
Right.
some people come into the server, they're like, "What is this? Oh, I'm gonna go
Mhm.
troll around, get my director role, get my actor role, and just have it there. They're not doing nothing with it, you know.
Mhm.
At least do something. At least help around. At least be the guy behind the chair. Like at least make like
Mhm.
even if you're not making a movie or man, just come to classes, just help around.
Right.
Like that's all we ask for. It's not that hard,
Mhm.
because this server is like 15 and up, right? So like this,
Yeah, more or less.
I mean like this server in this really movie industry on Rec Room, it's a really good foundation. Not just for movies, just for everything in life. Just once you are
Mhm.
committed to something, you gotta finish it 100%.
Right.
Like you're not only wasting your time, but you're wasting everyone else's time.
Mhm. Yeah, and I
So
mean, I understand if you're not like interested, like you come in, you were interested, and burnout
exactly,
like really affects you,
exactly.
but you need to make that known. Like if you're like, I can't do this anymore. I mean, it's gonna be disappointing, especially if you're in the middle of a movie and you can't push through. But I mean, it's better to say something and then leave, so we know to find a new person rather than just silently leaving, like not saying a word, not telling us why, just and sitting in the server just being inactive, because that hurts like directors when
Time
they're making
productive,
movies
man.
and you
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's okay, like you said, announce it, talk to people privately or publicly, your preference. But
Mm.
if you are gonna do that, like I said, do that, and then just become a viewer, become a supporter, a promoter. There's other jobs. Being a
Right.
regular viewer is helping us a lot. It might
Right.
not look like it, but it's really helped us. Like like you, no matter if we have
Mm.
zero views, you're always there. That one viewer counts.
Mhm.
So man, that's why I love it. I love the game, man. I love the hustle of it. So
Mhm.
it's nice, and like this community, it really collectively pulls us all together as one collective like thinking mind. I swear, because I meet people like you, like me, you think alike. Me and Homer think alike. Kia, just all of the higher ups. No, like wow,
Mhm.
it's really fascinating. And also, like you said before, you said like building up the ranks. I feel like before we got to this level, it was a lot easier because I was not expecting me to be this higher up already. And
Mhm.
then, I mean, I'm pretty sure now it's a lot harder and different. Like especially like Universal Inc. It's a lot harder to be higher up since like
Mhm.
all these rules are placed. It's like 600 members in there. That's crazy.
Mhm.
So I'm really excited to see what's going to be happening in the next couple of weeks or
Mhm.
months or next year because we have a big movie plan for next year with all the directors just sending out something. So, yep. Stay tuned,
Mhm.
guys. And
Uh,
Yeah. Go ahead.
I mean, that's I like with my closing. Um, be consistent, be there. I mean, be active, and be serious. There are times when we want you to have fun, but there's also times where we need you to be focused. Um, that's probably going to be my like main struggle with Good Boys. People aren't going to be focused, but I'm going to need them to be. And if that's an issue, then maybe I should look for better actors. It comes down to consistency, activity, focus, and maturity.
Consistency. Yes, maturity is a big factor. At this day and age, with everything going on in the real life world, like we all come on Rec Room to really let loose, but really like there's a time and place for acting and playing, but there's also a major benefit of really paying attention and really like pushing the server and pushing the community to a new higher up, because the more you act, the more further back we are like holding ourselves back. Because just imagine if we were all mature, like not mature, we would still be in that same area where we was 6 months ago. So
Hmm.
like we're all growing today, just like this podcast. This podcast is really growing up. Like,
Hmm.
I really should have started this a while back. But hey, I'm doing it right now, so there's no
Hmm.
stopping me, and no stopping you, and no stopping you as well as the viewer. So
All
you
right.
got,
Unless you don't have any other things to say, then I'm like that's pretty much it for me.
do you got any like final words, any informational, informative words that you want to give me as a viewer, or just the viewers in general? You know.
I mean, just follow up on what I said. Um, we like if you're consistent, like we've been saying, if you know that you are gonna be inactive from times, if you know that like you can't perform well, then just say that. We're not gonna be upset at you. We're and if we are, it's not gonna be for long. I've been there. I've dealt with burnout. I've dealt with struggling. There have been times where I haven't been able to perform my duties as an actor or a filmer or a writer or even a director. And it it's more upsetting to you than it is to your directors. Don't let it be mentally like draining or hurtful to you. Like if this hurts you like in a mental state, or if this like movie making kind of thing drains you, don't be a part of it. We want those who are, can do this. Like if everybody cares about like you as a person, as a worker here, as an actor. And if you can't perform, then we don't want you to like hurt yourself over that. So just be consistent, be mature, be active, and just be like your 100% best, because that's all we can ask for. And just do your best and be there.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to ask. We're all here, man. Just ask. But who do you think should be on this podcast next? On the next episode.
If I had to anybody, I don't know if you've done Deer yet. You might have actually.
No, I haven't yet.
um
Not yet.
I would say Deer, and then if I don't have you done Neo? You might
No,
have
not
done
yet.
Neo.
Nope, not
Then
yet.
yeah, Deer or Neo, those would be your, in my opinion, you're better guys for it.
All right. Neo, Deer, and then I still got to get Homer and Kia on the same podcast to really discuss what their futures are and everything.
Hmm.
So Deer, Neo, Homer, Kia once again, and then who knows, the CEO of Rec Room. You know what I mean? So that's my
Ripley.
goal. Of course, that's my goal, man. To have him on BrothaChats, talk about the company and things of that nature. So So I mean, it was nice having you,
Yeah,
Mr.
thank you for
Links.
having me. This was great.
Hey, you're welcome anytime, man. Just hit me up. You know.
I bet.
All right. So, all right, like, favorite, subscribe. I don't care. Whatever you do, just share this with your friends, family, dog, cat, Aunt May, Peter, whoever, man.
Dog.
So, yeah, dog with the blog. So if you want to be a part of this podcast or yeah, your podcast brother chats or be an actor, director, filmer, writer, just anything in the movie community or just become a viewer, man, make sure you join down the SWC Pictures Discord down below, and also I'll be linking down his Recroom at his links that he wants me. Oh yeah, that short film, just anything that he wants me to put down description down below, I will do that. So see you guys, sayonara. All right.